For those family and friends that were there last night and had absolutely no idea who I was, I am so very sorry for anything that you saw or heard coming from me. My name is Emily Swanson, and I'm one of the dual degree students getting my PA and PH among this beautiful, fabulous, hilarious, wonderful, and intelligent NUPA class of 2019. Some things that you should know about me right out the gate. I love to greet people in song. There's no explanation behind it, but nobody's asked me to stop, so I'm just gonna keep doing it. I love the word beautiful. I will use it to describe anything, everything, so if you hear it 100 more times today, I'm really sorry. And what else? I don't know. In my free time, which has mostly been limited to between our classes, I am mostly up to some type of goofy nonsense. To elaborate, I asked some of my beautiful classmates what they wanted to hear about in this speech today, and they told me they wanted to hear my proudest moment from PA school. And I thought, that is such a great idea, guys. But an even better idea would be to share one of my least proudest moments in PA school. I can see your faces, so I know exactly what you're thinking. Which one is she gonna choose? There have been so gosh darn many. Okay, guys, all right, calm down. That is true, though. Yes, there were a lot for me to choose from. But I decided that I would choose a moment from Professor Honda's Anatomy and Physiology class. Professor Honda, also known as Dr. Honda, the former director of our program, was teaching about the cardiovascular system. It's like, not even important, whatever. And I decided that it would be a good time to practice my Allen test. For those of you who have no idea what that is, and for those of you who have no idea what that is but should know what that is, you basically cut the circulation off to your hand, and then you let it go and just see how long it takes for the blood to return. Whatever, it doesn't even matter. But I'm there, doing what I'm doing and whatever, and something happened. Something that you won't read about in the textbooks. Something that I will call a hand fart. And it was so loud, and I prayed that Dr. Honda didn't hear it. But we had eye contact, and I knew that he did. Whether he knew it came from my hands, I still don't know to this day. For me, that was a scene from a horror movie. Hopefully, for all of you, it was a scene from a much different movie. I wanted to share that with you to give you an idea of the type of student that I am. But more importantly, the type of student that your sons and daughters and friends and brothers and sisters, my fellow classmates, choose to represent them on this day. Do with that whatever you will. But now that we've been introduced, I thought that I would try and set the stage of how I ended up on this stage. A couple weeks ago, I'm sitting in Baracus 220, where all of us have basically lived for the past year. I'm catching up on some schoolwork, and I'm waiting for my anatomy lab group to start, when our wonderful class president, Aiden, absolutely a wonderful, generous, kind person, slowly wheels his chair over to me, and he says, Emily, there's actually something I need to talk to you about. And I was like, oh no, they are kicking me out of this program. And they have sent sweet, sweet Aiden to break the news to me. I knew that I shouldn't have tried to eat that Pop-Tart in the middle of class, or at least I could have given up after about 5 minutes of being a pure disturbance. But no, and as I slowly spin out of control and start planning my backup career, our astute class president quickly clarified that no, he just wanted to ask if I'd be willing to give a speech at White Coat. So the first thing that I want to say to the 42 of you, besides everything that I already just said, is that you guys are crazy. I love you. What? This is insane. You guys are so crazy. I am so touched and so honored. I can't think of a greater compliment than to be nominated and then voted to give this speech today. I feel so loved, and I want to say thank you so very much. I don't want to share too much of my own personal story with you guys, because despite what I like to believe, today isn't just about me. It's about all of us. And it's about what we have truly achieved together. What we have truly, sine qua non, achieved together. Yep, drop that in there for you. To give credit where credit's due, of course we couldn't have done this without our faculty and without the amazing adjunct professors, without our friends from outside the program, and last but not least, without our families. I am so glad that all of you could make it here today to celebrate this past year of really hard work and to celebrate the year that we all have ahead of us. In particular, I am grateful to my friends. Kristen and Tom are here today. They're the loves of my life. And then to my family, my dad, my brother, my sister, and my grandpa are all here. Without the 6 of those people, wouldn't have made it 1 minute, not a single minute. I love you guys so much, and I am so grateful for all of you. But it is kind of funny. It's kind of funny that no matter how hard you try to include your family and your friends in the experience that is PA school, you really can't understand or appreciate it unless you've been through it yourself. In fact, the harder that you try to include them and get them to understand, I think the worse that it is, because believe me, I have tried. I have sent them all the pictures from our lectures and told them all the stories of what comes out of where, particularly those stories from our foreign body lectures. And do you know what? They have begged me to stop. My reply? No. But that is one of the very many reasons why I am so very grateful to have had 42 other absolutely brilliant, beautiful, bright, hilarious, intelligent, and fabulous other PA students by my side for the past year. You guys are the real MVPs of today. My ride or dies through thick and very thin for the past year. I couldn't have done it without each and every single one of you. And I think it's fair to say that I'm not just speaking for myself when I say that. I am willing to bet that our Dropbox and Ray's dankest of memes have saved all of our lives more than a handful of times. Now, I know that I said today wasn't just about me, and for the most part, that is true, yes. But I do want to share at least a little bit of my own story with you guys, and if you can stick with me for 2 more minutes, I hope that you'll understand why. I grew up thinking that I wanted to be a doctor. I didn't skip down the street dreaming of the day that I'd become a PA. In fact, I didn't even know what a PA was until a couple of years ago. Because a couple of years ago, my mom got pretty sick. And suddenly I had a much bigger stake in this healthcare universe. Of course, like all of you, I had interacted professionally with the different roles of the healthcare team. But now I had a much different perspective, which was as a family member of someone who I really loved who was really sick. And when you're in that position, you can't help but wonder about the people taking care of the person that you love. Is this person the best at what they do? Are they even good at what they do? Do they like what they do? Did they get enough sleep last night? Did they have a good cup of coffee this morning? Or did somebody steal their donut from the box? Come on, guys. Does this person care about my mom? Do they know how important she is to me? And are they going to do everything that they can for her? These are the questions that your patients and their families are going to ask about you, whether you are a student out on rotations or 30 years into your practice. Having the inside scoop, I know that all of you are going to be so gosh darn great, but your patients aren't always going to know that about you. So it's up to you to show them through your great practice of medicine and your attention to detail, through your attitude and your good humor and your kindness and the care that you show to them. You set the tone. Now my mom, she was no fool, I could tell you that. And she had lots of appointments every week, but there was always one appointment that we could count on, week after week. And for this appointment, my mom insisted on being seen by the same PA. In fact, she refused to be seen by any practitioner but this particular PA. And that's because my mom knew, and I knew, that this PA was the best at what he did. And he loved what he did, and he loved his patients, and in particular, he loved my mom. And week after week, he made such a difference in her life. And because of that, he made such a difference in mine. And eventually he asked me, why do you want to go to medical school? You ever thought about being a PA? I think you'd really like it. At the time, I was like, yeah, whatever, okay. But luckily, his words made it through my thick skull, and I came to recognize PAs and all the roles that they had in my mom's care, and the breadth and the depth of our scope of practice. And long story short, here I am today. I wanted to share that part of my life with you guys for 3 reasons. The first is because I can tell you from my own personal experience and from the bottom of my heart that no matter where you land, no matter what specialty you're in, no matter whether you are a student out on rotations or far down the road of your practice, what you will do as PAs will be so important. It'll be important to your patients, to their families, to their friends, to their really, really cool daughters. Don't forget about that. You are gonna have a chance to make such a difference in their lives the way that PAs made a difference in mine. Second, I want you to know that you'll have the power to shine a light on even the darkest diagnoses. The hard truth is that medicine doesn't always have the answer or the solution. But that doesn't always matter. Sometimes it's your attitude and it's your good humor and it's your kindness that matters so much more. And finally, I wanted to remind you, as if you need reminding, that this is your one and only life. And you're gonna spend the next year of it out on rotations. So I really hope that you don't fast forward through it and you don't take it for granted. Find the happiness and the joy that's available in every single day. Appreciate every day for what it has to offer you. Be brave. Own what you know. Admit what you don't. And try not to sweat the small stuff. Because you're a student and you'll make mistakes, and that's okay because you'll learn from them. But at least if you are gonna sweat, try not to sweat too much because you'll sweat right through your beautiful new white coats. And we've all been there, and it's really, really gross. You know what I'm talking about. Be kinder than you have to. Listen to your patients. Listen to their really cool daughters. And learn as much as you can because you don't get to do this again. Now, I've taken enough of your time. Sorry for that. But I do want to leave you with some last words of wisdom. Now, friends and family, I have to offer you one more apology, because this is something that my fellow students have heard a time or two before. But if you guys are hearing it for the first time from me, that just ain't right, and I'm sorry. So without further ado, I'm going to leave you with this. You better work.